Today we're going to be looking at different locations in my house where I might shoot these videos. I'm trying to find a place where I can set things up and it doesn't take a lot of time. So that's what we're going to take a look at today. This is Bill Booz with Booz Photography Learning Center. Today, as I said in the intro, we're going to look at places in the house where I might be able to record these videos with a minimal amount of setting up. I'm doing this during the daytime, which is not when I normally will probably video or make these videos. The problems with the living room, the dining room, and an old dining room which we now use as a sitting room is the lighting and most importantly the echoing. In the dining room I found there really was a fair amount of echo, even though I've got the mic and I have it set up the same way now. I have the video micro mic on a little tripod just off camera, or it's off the frame, attached with a cable to a 12-foot cable to my camera. The sound quality was good, and I'm doing this as an experiment. The lavalier by far has been the best sound quality that I've found. And maybe that if I use the lavalier, I won't get quite as much echo from the hardwood floors and the flat surfaces in these rooms. This room is likewise this is a room that I've used before at nighttime. It has all the windows. It used to be a sleep porch. And it's a great room and it's bright, so I don't really need to use any other light. This is actually a fourth room, and I hadn't even thought of that. I decided to do this intro to those three videos sitting at my desk, and actually this may work if the sound's decent. This may work out as one of the better places to record. We'll go through these videos. I'll put some notes over them, overlay notes on some of them, and I'll come back at the end and close this whole thing up. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm trying out another room in the house to see if this is a decent place to video. Of course, I'm doing this daylight, so that changes things a little bit. And the exposure seems to be about accurate. These are all hardwood floors, only one carpet, so it's probably got some echo to it, and that's not real good. Recording this in another room. This is an old dining room in our house, and obviously I'm much too dark. But I wanted if I were to do this in daytime, I wanted the outside, the screen porch and the trees beyond it to be visible, not blown out as they were when I had the ISO at 1600. So let's switch on a light and see if that helps any. But at least you can see me. So that could work. I'm trying to do this with just as one LED. I can put another LED in on the other side, and I think I'll go and get that. The microphone is set up the way it was before. That is, it's on a little tripod and attached to the camera, and it's actually hidden right here behind this plant. So let me get another light and see if that improves things. Alright, so added the illuminator on a stand right here, the other side of the table just out of the frame. Microphone still where it was, and I moved the it's bright when I'm looking at it. The light over here on a regular light stand, the LED, it's a fairly bright one. Had to move it back a little bit because it was blowing me out, and it's still a little bit too dark for making a good scene. I could lighten it up by bringing some other lights in, but what I'm experimenting with is to see where's the place that I can set up this equipment with the least amount of hassle, even on the spur of the moment. And be able to have a table or a place to have things that I want to show, and could also do a camera shooting down on the table, which is something I'm going to experiment with next. So again, this is daylight, so I've exposed it so you can see the outside. The lighting on me is, again, not great, still needs some work, but it's all part of the experimentation. Good. So now I'm taking on a tour of my house. We're in the living room. Again, it's daylight. Got the really fairly bright LED up here on a light stand, and the illuminator light stand on a table right next to me. I still need to light myself up a little bit better, and it's not making the room brighter at all. So this is not necessarily the answer either, but I think all these three different scenarios could work. I just have to try my fluorescent lights in the clamp light holders, and I can place those around and probably light up the room a little bit more. So this is my third, and for right now, my final destination within the house to try out for video recording. The mic again is plugged into the camera through a 12-foot cable, and it's right here just out of frame on the table next to me. So see how the sound quality is with it there. The lavalier is probably better, but I wanted to try this out. I just got this 12-foot cable and wanted to see, based on the recommendation somebody made, about don't put the shotgun mic on the camera itself because you still are 6 feet away or so from the camera. Get it closer to you by using an extension cable. And so that's what I'm trying now by adding the 12-foot cable. All right, so that's enough for this experiment, and we'll see how they sound. Okay, that's the tour of the house and taking a look at possible places to use to record videos. The things I noticed, first of all, a couple of things I want to explain. During the videos, you'll notice I keep looking down, and I'm looking at my iPhone because I'm controlling the camera, and I can see what the exposure is like and my position in the frame and so on by looking at that. And so that I wouldn't normally do that when I'm shooting a video where I'm really talking to you. This is really an experiment to see about lighting and sound. So that was one thing, and I also noticed that the Rode Video Micro takes a little bit. It's getting power from the camera, and I start talking right away. The volume hasn't kind of reached its normal point, and so I need to remember to stop. Don't talk until it's a couple seconds into the recording, so that the mic is getting a balanced and a good sound. And as far as the various rooms, the dining room had great light, and it's the dining room table is as you're looking at me at the that small table underneath the stairs. The dining room table and the full room is out off to my left. On as I'm sitting at the table. It's a very open room. As I said, it has hardwood floors. It has a long wooden table, so a lot of horizontal surface, and nothing to really buffer the sound. So although I was getting good light in the position I was videoing myself in, and that's good, the sound was bad. So I've got to figure out a way to kind of blunt that sound a little bit. Maybe hang some blankets or something up so that it muffles a little bit more. So that room has possibilities. Of the three that I did downstairs, that is probably the best one, except for the sound. The sitting room, where I was in total darkness, and that is, as I said, a dark room. It requires. It's going to require me, whether I do it during the day or during the evening. It's going to require adding some artificial light. And I'm getting more and more the idea after doing this that maybe videoing during the day is a good idea, because the light I have up here, right now it's dark, it's nighttime. The light I had up here during the day obviously is very good because of all the windows, and the light in the dining room is good because, again, there are two sets of French doors and a window, so it gets decent lighting. So the sitting room, even when I added, the sound was okay, but it still had a little bit of an echo because, again, there's not a whole lot in that room. There's a table and flooring and a carpet that doesn't cover the entire floor, so that I believe contributes to the echo. The living room, where I'm sitting in the chair, is likewise, even though there's a little more light in there, it's going to require artificial light, so that's probably out. The sound was better there because probably of the sofas and the chairs that I was sitting in. The carpet on the floor covers more of the floor, and I was more in the middle of the room where there is more material to buffer that sound. So that probably is out. And it turns out after doing the intro to this video, this room actually seems like one of the best candidates because the sound wasn't bad. And again, it's hardwood floors. There are two easy chairs in here, so that absorbs a little bit of the sound, but there's still a little bit of an echo, but it's not as bad. And I had to try now with a lavalier and see if that eliminates the echo because the microphone would be so close to my mouth. And as I was doing this, I noticed a couple quirks of my own. Number one, I close my eyes a lot, I noticed, so I've got to work on that. And these videos are experimental for me, and I'm exposing these weaknesses on my part so that you might learn from them. And I think I'm doing it right now, closing my eyes, so I've got to learn how to keep that open. The other thing is I tend to keep talking. And now that I'm doing more editing, like for this one, I had, like 5 or 6 clips plus the intro clips, and now this outro clip. So I'm spending a lot of time trying to cut out things that aren't that important, I find, after I listen to it. And I find it's difficult. You'll notice that some of the transitions were very smooth. I'm not exactly sure why that happened. And others, there's a little bit of a movement in my head, which is something I'm going to learn as I do more of this. I hope this helped you, and I hope that you will continue to follow me on my journey. I'm almost at the point now where I'm going to start doing some videos on the content that I've been wanting to cover. And I have a list of maybe 20 things that are blog posts that have been extremely popular on my blog. So over the next month or so, I'll be starting to do real videos, and every once in a while I'll intersperse them with things about what I've learned through this process. So again, thank you very much for following, and I look forward to seeing you again. Good night.